Yo, what's going on, guys? What's up? What's up? All right, hold up. Let me get this going. All right, what's good, guys? What's going on, man? What's good? What's good? What's good? All right. Let me see. Coming to market open, honestly, it seems pretty chill, like a pretty chill open. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Since yesterday, we've been seeing some pretty nice volume. I guess yesterday was the day where the volume really started, or actually, about this week, I would say. It's been a little bit more volatile. I know I haven't really streamed this week for a big part of this week. But now with the markets kind of, they seem like they're getting a little bit better. I mean, we could probably try to trade this. But anyways, coming into market open today, guys. Hold on, I gotta. Anyways, coming to market open. During the London session or throughout the pre-market session, pretty much 30 minutes before the market opened, we noticed that we had this Asia low and we took it out. And on top of that, coming to market open today, as we took out this Asia low, we also set a London high, a London low right down here, which we just also took out right about now. Now looking at the higher time frame, I'm a little bit more leaning more towards bullish, especially now that we're taking out these lows to the downside as well. So I'm gonna see what we can get for sure. In terms of a setup, I don't really have much right now. At least not anything that has formed. I mean, the market opened 3 minutes ago, so maybe we form something around here. But the thing is, it's gonna be probably a little bit tricky now because if we pump up, maybe we can create a gap here, which I kind of doubt. We only have 1 minute left in this candle. But if we pump up from here on out, I mean, we could probably create like a fair value gap around here and maybe trade a retracement into the internal slash Asia high. By the way, my main targets today, guys, it's mainly gonna be this Asia high for today, guys. And the reason I'm saying this is because on both ES and NQ, we have a triple top over here on at the Asia, which is pretty much over at 23,368.75. And the reason I'm saying this, guys, is once again, we created this high yesterday, right, inside of this 15-minute bearish rally gap, which we obviously rejected from 3 times looking at it now. But if you guys pay attention here, once again, we have the main high. We hit it during Asia, and we hit it again before London opened, and we've rejected off the same exact level over 1, 2, 3, pretty much 5 times. From that level, which obviously the more rejections we have to it, the more orders are placed on that level. And obviously the more orders are placed on that level, the more liquidity there is, which just makes it more respected. All right. So obviously today, if we are going to go along with a bullish bias, I'm definitely going to be looking to trade into this high up here for sure. That's definitely what I want to see. But like I said, in terms of setups, there's not much I can really work with right now. Unless we want to work with something from the 15-minute time frame, which looks a little bit messy in my eyes. I would rather use this more for like a good read in the market to get an understanding as to what we want to do. For example, like, oh, we're bouncing off a bullish rally gap. You know what I mean? We could be bullish, right? But in terms of getting a trade going, I'm not really liking anything here. You know what I mean? I want to target this gap over here. I don't want to use this gap as an entry as it's already been respected practically 4 times already. So I definitely want to see what we have going on here. I'm actually kind of hoping that we don't continue selling off. If you guys don't know, we've kind of sold off quite a lot these last 2 days. Like a lot. Actually, yeah. Close to 1,000 points throughout the week, or nah, actually since last week. I was about to say, but yeah, no. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is these last 2 days we've been selling off a lot. I don't know how much lower we can actually go. But hopefully not too much lower. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see how this one goes, how the market opens up. But yeah, so far coming into market open, there's not much that I'm really too interested in here. And by the way, what's good, YouTube? What's going on, guys? I'm going to put out that I'm live over here on YouTube real quick. I'm gonna put it out here. Let me see. But yeah, so far in terms of a bias and everything, guys, looking at it now, ES might not seem as bullish as NQ in terms of with levels. But I still am pretty bullish as we did take out this low right down here over at 6,385. during the London session actually, and we've been sweeping it ever since. Or we've been trying to sweep it. As you guys see right here, if you go over to like the 15-minute, 30-minute time frame, you guys will see that yeah, we created yesterday. We created a low over at 636. I mean, yeah, 6362, 6380, and 6385. Right, as you guys see, we have the main low here. We have another low here and another low right over here. All right, guys. So what we did during the London session is throughout the overnight session, we obviously sold off. We had a little bit of a pullback here. We took out the low, and it seems like we're currently holding above it, right? Confirming a DOL sweep, giving us an extra reasoning as to why to be bullish, for at least for now. All right. So yeah, now we have, although we haven't taken out this London low, we still took out this low, which the overall idea is bullish. Since we did this low right here is not really as strong as this one, hence why we're still getting a reaction, although we haven't really taken out the London low, which is probably what you guys might be wondering. All right. Now looking at NQ, we are kind of pushing up here, which is aligning with our bias. Obviously, I mean, it kind of makes sense as to why we want to go higher. You know what I mean? ES swept, ES is holding up. We took out the London low here. We're bouncing off a 15-minute bullish rally gap. I mean, it looks really good. You know what I mean? In my eyes, at least. So what I want to see here, guys, is in the next 2 minutes, I want to kind of push up a little bit. Hopefully not too much to the point where we don't get where we can't afford a retracement because we took out a high here. But I really want to look to see if we can create a gap here and kind of just trade a retracement plus a bounce into the Asia high over here. That would make up for a pretty good trade, I would say. It would line up with our bias. It's lining up with all of our confirmations. Hold on, my cat is meowing outside. One sec. Hello. All right. I'm back. All right, let me open up the window. Anyways, okay, I'm back. My bad, guys. Anyways, okay, so yeah, pretty much what I want to see here is in the next minute, I want to see if price able to kind of hold above here, and if we're not able to do that, it's gonna be a little bit of an issue, or it might just take a little bit more time to really form a setup here. And the reason I'm saying this is because, okay, look, if we can't create a gap here, the next candle is gonna have to create another gap, right? Because this candle already pumped up 66 points, right? So if this candle can't create a gap here, we're gonna have to wait for the next one, which we will then have to pump up another 40 points, which would have to be around the 310 to 320 range, and our price target will be at 334. You get what I'm saying? It's not gonna be enough room to get a nice trade going, even into our first price target. So we're gonna see. From the looks of it, I don't really know if we're gonna create a gap. We have 15 seconds into this candle, and we still have to push up quite a bit to create the gap here. By quite a bit, I mean 15 points, but 15 points in 5 seconds is practically impossible. So yeah, we're not gonna create a gap here. I don't really think we have anything on the 1 minute. No, nothing on the 1 minute because the bias is pretty clear. We know that we want to go higher. Is the only issue is we just don't have a setup to work with here, at least for now. Like I said, the market opened up 10 minutes ago, so we're gonna see what we have to work here. But yeah. Anyways, all right. I'm just trying to see what setup we can work with. I guess yeah. No, we're gonna have to for sure just wait for one to form here. Maybe we can create one in the next 15 minutes. Because if this candle sells off, the next candle does nothing, and the next candle pumps up, we can for sure get something going here. No, I'm just hoping that today's market doesn't really look too unstable because obviously we have our bias for now, right? We took out the lows on both ES and NQ. We had the sweep, we had the pump up and everything. But if today's market is going to be like the market that we've been having for the last 2 weeks, where we pump up, we have a random sell off, and we keep going up, I'm simply just not going to trade it until it obviously looks better. We have PMI. I didn't think we have any news today. Let me check. 9:40. Oh, that's. Oh, I didn't even check. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, apparently there's 9:45 a.m. News. Now, guys, I will say tomorrow. I'm not gonna go live tomorrow. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna trade because anytime I say I don't trade, I tend to trade, and you know how it goes. But tomorrow, guys, we have Powell speaking at 10 in the morning, so it's all in all gonna be more than likely a pretty choppy day. So I'm not even gonna bother going live tomorrow. But if I do see anything, I will put out a commentary trade. Just in case you don't, obviously, if you guys want to trade it and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, for today we do have a 9:45 news candle coming out. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait on that. It's about 3 minutes. Home sales at yeah at 10. Home sales doesn't really do much. Um, but PMI will probably do something here. We have 2 minutes left into PMI, so we'll just wait on that. Dude, you have repeated the same thing like 20 times, bro. There's nothing here that I'm seeing. If not, I would have for sure mentioned it, bro. That's what he said about the last orange folder. It doesn't do much and it gave 100 points. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Home sales isn't really, I mean, it's not really known to do much. What's your overall buys for today? I'm leaning more towards bullish for sure. It's just right now there's not much that we can really work with. Not on the 5 minute, on the 15 minute. There's just nothing. Yeah, I'm good, bro. First is waiting for news. Probably that's probably why we're kind of chopping up here. Maybe. I didn't know we had a red folder today. I thought I checked and I thought it was a no news Thursday, but I guess not. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow I won't be live. Just because of Powell speaking, there's really no point. And he's gonna be speaking right at market open, so you already know how that's gonna go. I'm not gonna say, like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna trade because I always say that and I end up trading. So yeah. This candle ain't not a valid gap. You don't have anything here. We already took this out. We took this out at 8:30, which kind of just made it not valid anymore going forward. Mark out this high right over here. But yeah, all right. 10 seconds left until this red folder news comes out. So let's see what we can work with there. All right, let's see what we got here. PMI came out. The market's gonna go a little bit crazy for now, just because the news is still pending. Let the report come out. What up? We should see the reaction soon. All right, there it is. Yeah, so numbers are coming out. So we should see some sort of PMI. I mean, don't expect it to be like CPI, but expect some sort of a move here in the market. But yeah, so far it kind of looks like we're kind of shooting down a little bit here. Um, Hopefully, yes, it's probably able to take out this London low here. And as we shoot down, we could probably create some sort of a gap. So if we overall get like a bearish or bullish buys, we can always use this gap to get a trade going for sure. But yeah, there it is. So ES just took out this London low, and we are shooting down a lot actually. So I guess PMI news came out pretty bearish. But yeah, let's see how we react off these levels, because now we took out the internal. The internal from yesterday, we took out the London, and we just took out another internal from yesterday yet again over at 6,380. Now the main goal here is, now that we opened up a brand new 5 minute gap or a 5 minute candle, we need to be sure that we're able to hold down this 5 minute candle so we can actually hold down this gap. Because if you measure it out, it's a 75-point candle. So we definitely have an imbalance going on here, which obviously as we're able to get a form of buys in the market going into throughout the open, we can probably get a pretty nice trade going. I would say. But yeah, so far we are selling off quite a bit here. I don't want to say I want to inverse anything just yet, because obviously, guys, we are sitting in a pretty bullish for value gap. By pretty bullish, I mean a 100-point gap here, and we took out a few levels of liquidity, so we can kind of reverse at any given moment. So before I tell you guys whether I want to go long or short, I just want to see what type of reaction we get based off these levels in the next candle. So if obviously we continue selling off, which obviously kind of seems like we are because obviously news came out pretty bearish. If we keep selling off, we could probably look to take some shorts off this. But before I say that, I want to look for shorts. I want to see how we take out 23,152, which is the final internal low to the downside. I want to see how we take out that level of liquidity, and depending on how we take out this level of liquidity, what I mean by that is the reaction, whether we want to hold above or below it. That's gonna pretty much tell us the bias. Because right now, I get it, we're selling off, news looks bearish and everything, but I'm kind of leaning still a little bit more towards bullish. And the reason I'm saying that is, yet again, we haven't taken out every level of liquidity to the downside. We're taking some levels out. We're getting a bullish reaction, and we're also bouncing off a bullish rally gap. All right, guys. I mean, look at ES as well. We're pretty much just sweeping the London low as well, right? So if I move this over, right, actually, we don't even need that London, right? Because we already took this level out right here, right? So yet again, I'm still pretty bullish, like I said, but it's just we don't have a setup to work with. You see what I mean? And sure, you might be wondering, like, yo, why didn't we just take a 15-minute bullish rally gap bounce? Well, this gap is just, like I said, I would prefer to use this gap for more of a reasoning behind the market, like more of a bias in the market. You know what I mean? I don't want to be entering off a gap with this size and this many bounces and rejections and all that stuff. It's just too messy. Like anything could happen. You know what I mean? So I would much rather just bounce off this gap, and form some sort of a gap here, like a 5-minute gap, and then like a fresh new gap, and then we just trade off that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like we faked a bunch of sellers out. I mean, we sold off. It seemed like the news was bearish. We took out some more levels of liquidity, which kind of gives us an extra reason as to why to be bullish, because obviously we took out more levels. And now that we took out a little bit more levels and we're looking bullish, I mean, the only thing that we're pretty much missing here, guys, is we have the bias. We pretty much just need the entry model. All right, because once again, we have the dual sweep, we have buyers stepping in, we have a fair value gap bounce, we have everything. But I just need a retracement into a brand new fair value gap that if we can form one, to then take the entry into the Asia high up here, because I really want to trade into longs. But yeah, it does seem like we are kind of inversing a 1-minute gap here. Although I don't really want to trade off a 1 minute right now because price kind of just doesn't seem super stable on the 5-minute. This 1-minute model doesn't really look as bad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Maybe I'll consider it. I'll keep it open just for now. Because maybe we could probably get a pretty good entry there. But yeah, I'll consider it for now. I'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the alert just in case we do end up getting it. But yeah, right now I would say the only thing that we kind of only have to work with is gonna be the 1-minute model. I mean, yeah, just look at that. So I might just look to just take something like this. I'm just a little bit worried with the news candle, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna enter longs here, guys. I'm gonna take it off the 1-minute model. I'm just gonna set my stop loss at 2 to 1. I did feel like I did get a little bit of later entry because I was kind of deciding on how we held this gap up. But with the way that we're bouncing and everything, it just looks all in all pretty good, I would say. I really like that 1 minute. And then if we do take this, okay, so since we got an entry like around here, yeah, first price target would be right here. I would say so 2.3, 290.25. I still want to see where I want to place my stop loss, whether it's going to be at 221 or maybe like a little bit lower. But let's see. So 334.25. And then we have 23368.75. Make sure I have everything set here. And then I don't know if I want to place my stop loss. I might just do 2 to 1. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to 2 to 1. Just because I'm sizing a little bit heavier. Lately I've been deciding on sizing a little bit heavier with my accounts because I do want to make a little bit more to reach for a higher payout. But yeah, let me just make sure everything is looking good here. So it's gonna be a 1 minute model just like this. I'm gonna just put this out real quick. So yeah, so I enter at 267. I'm gonna have 3 price targets to the upside, and then 221 will be the entry. Okay, and then the stop, I really don't know if I want to base it off of 221 just because I got a little bit of late entry. Yeah, I'm gonna do 221, I would say. I want to see how this 1 minute model holds here. Because we are kind of pulling back, but we do have a 5 minute gap here. So I might just move it a little bit lower. I'm going to move my stop loss, guys, to... That's the thing with the late entries. I'm going to do 209. 209 stop loss, just because of that 1 minute gap there. So yeah, it's just something like that, I would say. 209, 175. Because we did get 2 retracements here. And if you guys haven't entered, I would say if you still are looking to enter off the longs, you could definitely do another entry on this 1 minute bounce off that gap as well. Because everything is looking pretty bullish to me in my eyes. So something like this. So you can have 2 entries off maybe this inverse or this retracement here on the 1 minute. I would say that looks pretty good as well. Because we are bouncing. Yeah, just look at that. I mean, it looks literally beautiful. So good thing I moved my stop loss into 209. I'm gonna, yeah, 209.75. Oh, and then, bro, I just looked away for 2 seconds. We rejected back down really quick. But yeah, it seems like the market is really volatile right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do 209 for sure. I'm gonna stick to that one. I want to say that the market seems unstable a little bit, or just a little bit volatile maybe. But we'll see. Let me delete all these lines. Looks a little bit messy. Yeah, I will say for sure that the market does look really volatile right now. That's for sure. But yeah, and then ES is also retracing into his 1 minute gap. So I want to see that NQ hope. It just looks a little bit weaker here for sure. Yeah, let's see how we hold up this 1 minute gap here. Like I said, my stop is going to be based off if we inverse that 1 minute. Obviously, the model just it won't be ready in the meantime. And then if we could break back above this, I'm just gonna trail my stop loss a little bit higher because I do not have a little bit of a stretch stop loss. But I let me see. So yeah, if we could break above like maybe like the 257 range, I'll probably just trail it up a little bit and then just update you guys on that one. But yeah, the market right now on the 5 minute looks a little unstable. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So we're still in this type of market where it's not, the best looking. Yeah, let's see if we can hold above this 1 minute inverse soon. We have, oh, that's right. We have home sales in 5 minutes. Hopefully it's not one of those candles where it's really volatile, like a volatile orange folder. But yeah, the market right now, guys, looks extremely unstable. Yet again, you know what I mean? Yesterday was a little bit more stable for sure, but today is just the 5 minute looks like a mess. But yeah, no, I got stopped out on that one. I did size a little bit heavier though. I'm gonna wait for home sales to come out, and if I have to find a re-entry, I will. I'm gonna wait for this candle to come out real quick. This next 5 minute candle to open up. Yeah, no, I did size a little bit heavy on this one. Let's see how we hold this, mainly because of ES. Let's see what we could do here. Mark out this gap here. Actually, I'm gonna mark it on the 5-minute. All right, so yeah, guys, be ready just in case because new home sales is coming out in 2 minutes. I want to see how this holds though. Let me delete this because I don't confuse anyone. All right, 2 more minutes before this comes out. We still don't have anything to work with at the 5-minute. The candles do look really volatile. It's just there's no gaps anywhere. I see, because if new home sales comes out bearish and we continue going lower, obviously we're just gonna rip through these levels. We're probably just gonna seek lower as well. So if anything, we can also work with this 5-minute gap here as well down here. All right, 1 minute. Let me delete this gap. I'm not gonna use it. All right, let's see what we do. Because if we sell off, if we're gonna be selling off like this, we could do something. It's just the stop loss is gonna be an issue today, guys. With the market being so volatile, it's gonna be a very big issue. But if we can get bearish news to come out, let's see. Hold on. Like I said, what I was saying was, if we can get bearish news to come out, we could probably look to inverse this gap here as well down here because we do have levels below. That's only if news comes out very bearish, which it is. So we could probably look to take some shorts below here. Below like 135 would be very, very ideal because we'll inverse the gap both on ES and Q. But yeah, we're selling off like crazy here. Now, what I want to do, guys, is I want to see how we take out this 152 level. And I want to see how we react off of it because we have two gaps here. Right, we have the 5-minute gap from before the news, and then we have the gap from yesterday, the 5 and 15-minute gap. So what we could do is if we inverse this, so we could target something down here. Did it come out bullish or bearish? Looks like it came out bullish. Yeah, so we're still sweeping above. I'm just trying to see what we can work with here. Because we're holding above the 5-minute gap now. Also getting the DOL sweep, so the bullish price is still there. Yeah, ES is pumping up like crazy here. Because I think we can still work with this 1 minute, which is what I wanted in the first place. Here it is. Here. Yeah, ES is pumping up like crazy. can probably just find a re-entry here off this gap. It'll just look to target these 3 levels. And then we'll just work for like a 35-point stop loss. So at 216. Yeah, 3 price targets. All right, guys, hover over the buy button because I might look to re-enter into longs here. I actually really like this, especially with ES pumping up here as well. All right, guys, I'm in longs. It's gonna be my final shot at these longs from the re-entry off the 1 minute gap there. So I'm gonna look to target first 290 to go break even, and then I'll just hold all my contracts, or maybe just take something light out there, and then just look to target into. I really want to target that Asia high above. So you can probably look to take something there. So let me put this out real quick, guys. Let me type this up. Yeah, I really like the way longs are looking there, especially with ES. Although we did take out an internal with the buying pressure kicking in like crazy, we should expect higher. So let's see if we can get this 1 minute red to green there. And I'm gonna put out them longs. Oh shit. Yeah, ES is pumping there. Beautiful sign that we're not, that we want to hold above the DOL that we took out there. Dude, my cat's in the middle of the screen, bro. Oh my god, what are you doing? Get out. So yeah, like I said, guys, 290 is gonna be our first price target, which is where I'll be going break even if we could see that. We just need to make sure that ES is able to hold above this. And if we see 290, we should be able to see 408. So yeah, let's see. I don't know. My cat's in the middle of the screen, bro. I literally can't see Now, ES did create is creating a 5-minute gap here. So some retracements could be pretty normal, I would say. But let's see if we could target, like I said, I want to see 290 before anything. That is going to be my main target there. Because if we got an entry at, on the 250s. Yeah, 290 will be plus 40 points. So I'll probably even take skills out there. A pretty good amount. I want to see how price holds. Hopefully this new home sales that came out makes price a little bit more stable. Because obviously with the first entry, it looked good and everything, but just way too volatile and everything. Which still is pretty volatile, but hopefully it's just a little bit more stable now that news came out bullish and all that good stuff. Which just makes obviously price just hold a little bit better. And in the meantime, we got to make sure that ES is able to hold above this internal, so we can keep hold this bullish bias with confidence. All right, we're looking pushing up pretty nice here, which is what we want to see. Can we see 290? All right, guys, there is. Yeah, there it is, guys. So if you guys want, start going into break even. Since we did just hit 40 points on this trade. Damn, how large was my other stop loss? yeah, PT1, guys, PT1 just got hit for 40 points. So if you guys are green on this one or pretty much around break even, you can always look to just scale and just start trading your stop loss a little bit higher here. All right, guys. Yeah, all in all, hopefully we're able to hold just a little bit more because I at least want to take out this high over here on ES, which we should be able to. But we did tap into this level of liquidity, so expect a little bit of a pullback, of course. All right, guys. So yeah, let me go ahead and put it out here. If you guys want to do a little bit higher into the stop loss, maybe break even, depending on whatever you guys want to do, go ahead and feel free to do that. For me, I want to hold it just a little bit more because obviously I do want to expect a little bit more behind this trade. But what can happen is right here, now that we hit the price target, obviously we can expect a pullback, but it could be a little bit more of a pullback just mainly because of ES. We do have this 5-minute gap that we did create right over here. I don't really think NQ, oh my, yo, ES pumped up 23 points in 5 minutes. NQ didn't do that, right? Well, yeah, no, actually, NQ does have this gap here as well. I didn't even notice that. So we can expect like more of a pullback into this gap after this 5-minute candle closes, and hopefully we get a bounce into a continuation into a higher liquidity. Because I don't know, guys, my main targets for today is literally this Asia on both ES and NQ. This Asia is literally like is gonna act like a magnet today. Like if our bias is correct and our bias is bullish today, we have to see this Asia high. No way we don't. You know what I mean? It's just, why wouldn't we? We have so many orders sitting in this level, and it just wouldn't make sense as to why we wouldn't see it. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully we can trade into that. I'm gonna try my best to hold as many contracts as I can, as long as we remain bullish into this level. But I really, really want to trade into that. But yeah, for now, I'm kind of just gonna expect a little bit of a pullback into these 2 5-minute gaps on both ES and NQ. So yeah. Now, if you guys took your skills and everything, if you guys don't want to do break even yet, because I know some people don't really like doing break even, you can at least move your stop loss into like it's probably practically break even into like I would say like 247. That's not too bad of a stop loss, I would say. And the reason I'm saying 247 is mainly because when we close this candle and if we retrace, which I'm not gonna lie, with price being a little bit unstable, I'm kind of expecting. Hopefully not. Hopefully the market proves me wrong. But what could happen, guys, is if you place your stop loss down here, if we inverse this gap, I mean, you know what I mean? Just everything will be a little bit more messy, and obviously you wouldn't want to be in the trade in that case. So trailing it at least a little bit higher would be a lot better in my eyes, I would say. Yeah, let's see if we can shoot a little bit higher into 408. And of course, if we could break above 290 and hold above it, I don't think we have anything stopping us until the internal high at 334. All right, let's see where we're getting a red to green here. Oh, never mind. It's like I say something and it just TPs to red. But yeah, this could be the pullback into ES, and maybe even into NQ. So if I mark this out right here, I'm gonna mark it out as the 5-minute FPG retracement, which I am expecting, just because price is so unstable still. But if we can break above 290 and hold above it, like I said, it should be an amazing trade going forward. Yeah, price is super volatile today. In an unstable. Yesterday, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. How is it that the one day that I avoid is literally the best that we've had in literal months? And then I get back to trading is unstable again. Nah, but yesterday was now that I was looking at the market yesterday, we ended up getting a winning trade either way. But looking at the market from yesterday, boy, it was insane. There are so many opportunities to take a trade. You had inverses, you had retracements, everything was working. I was looking to take this trade on the road trip back, but I was too busy driving, so I couldn't take this trade here. Because, guys, what I was looking for was with the market selling off, we had room for a lot lower since we didn't have any levels of liquidity around this range. We tapped into this fair value gap and we rejected instantly. I'm like, damn, bro, I would have taken shorts right there. And then, like, literally 2 seconds later, we shot straight down over 80 points. So hopefully we can get that type of price action today in this trade. But it's like we have the volume for it. We have the same volume as yesterday. It's just not the momentum is not there. You know what I mean? It's just not very stable. I'm just waiting on ES to get this flip here because NQ wants higher. I mean, look at that. All right, there it is. Beautiful. Yeah. So if you guys haven't taken profits already, or some profits at least, if you guys are near break, I know it says a little bit heavier for myself, but if you guys haven't already, take something off. You know what I mean? Take something off and make sure to be trailing your stop loss. You obviously don't want the trade to go against you. You know what I mean? Especially after so much. Yeah. Hopefully you guys are sitting green on this one, man. We just saw 55 points on this one. Around 50 to 55 points depending on your entry. And by the way, guys, like I said a million times, if you guys already took skills and everything, make sure you guys are moving your stop loss. Let's see if we can, like I said, hopefully we can hold above this 290 level. Because if we can, then, you know, we can expect higher into the next DOL. That'll just let buyers are in a lot of control and obviously want higher. I think I'm gonna take skills off on these contracts when we see 408 on ES. I really want to see 408 because that's pretty much the next objective in the market as a whole. So if we see 408 and we take that out, I'll take skills out on NQ. And then I just hold runners until 334. I take more off there, and I'll just take my full profits at 368 if we could see that. Let me check something here. But yeah, this could be the, now that we took out this 290 level, we could definitely retrace a little bit. So we'll see how this holds. Unless prices wants to chop out. The thing is, we haven't. Oh yeah, we did. I was gonna say we haven't taken out any levels to the upside. So we did on the 15-minute. No, ES is starting to pick up a little bit more strength here. So we might get an S&T flip. Just hopefully, just NQ doesn't get too weak here. To the point where if ES wants to pump up, you know what I mean, and NQ doesn't really hold down. Because yeah, look at the difference here. You guys see what I mean? Look at the 5-minute. Look at the 5-minute. It seems like ES. I mean, well, ES does have room, does have its reason to go higher, since it does have 408. We just took out 290, which was the 408 for ES. So it does make sense why we're getting a little bit weaker on NQ. So yeah, once we take, like I said, once we take out 408, I'm gonna take out most of my contracts here. See if we can hold this. So 303. Okay. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if we see 408, it'll probably pretty much just be 303 on NQ. Unless we get a breakout and we seek higher. Oof, there we go, guys. All right, I scaled out here. There we go. Beautiful breakout there. Oh shit. There it is, guys. There it is. Let's take 3 more off there. I just want to be green on the day. There we go, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. I might even just take 1 more off. There you go. Guys, I scaled pretty much all my contracts here. I'm just gonna hold this final runner until through 334 and just get out there. Beautiful move up there. We saw 308. Okay, we're at 310. Let me kind of take this. Beautiful push there. 60, pretty much 65 points. I've killed 19 out of 20. If we break, guys, if we go below 290, I might just take full profits and call it. Just because that, like I said, the price today is just not super stable, so I don't really want to be in this trade for too long. Especially now that I took most of my profits and I'm pretty good on the day. Yeah, that was pretty much a six about depending on your entry, like a 60 to 65 point move. If you got a better entry, of course, a little bit more. But yeah, guys, ES took out liquidity, NQ took out liquidity. So if we start selling off a little bit, I might just take off my final contract below 290. So I'll give it like a 10-point stop, I would say. Hello. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So yeah, guys, like I said, I guess instead of doing a break even stop, you could trail it to like maybe a break below 290. You would get out because remember, ES, look at it, right? It's kind of sweeping because remember, we did take out a good amount of levels of liquidity. Now, if we want to seek higher, then that's even better. But we'll see what we can do with this contract because I'm just a little bit worried with price being a little bit unstable. I'm just not really expecting an only push up to the upside. I mean, it's probably gonna get a little bit messy now, especially now that we took out a little bit more levels of liquidity. So yeah, if ES fails to hold 408 and NQ goes back down in below 290, I'll just sell and just take my profits and run. See if we can break above this higher. Because it kind of seems like I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I've been expecting kind of like the worst. I've been expecting like a retracement somewhere, especially now that we took out levels of like these levels of liquidity. I'm just waiting on that sell-off to happen. I know me speaking about it now is more likely gonna make it happen even more, but I'm ready for the retracement. Whenever we get it, I'm just gonna get out. I'm pretty happy with the profits I got today either way. Although not to start to the morning, but that I wanted, but hey, pretty nice way to end the day. We stuck to the same bias. It's the same bullshit happening. The same shit with the first trade. And although I'm not really too sure as to why the first trade didn't really work. Everything looked really good here, but I guess we wanted to see a little bit lower into the 5-minute gap, which I wasn't really expecting, because that was just a full on. That was a full on 120, 100, pretty much 112 point reversal to then pump back up into the highs. So I don't know. How big was this 1 minute? Yeah, 72 points in 1 minute. That's literally crazy. So let's see, because now we're getting another S&P flip where ES is getting weaker when NQ is kind of breaking out. You see what I mean? But yeah, guys, if we see 334, I know I said I wanted to hold on. Actually, if anything, I might just move my stop loss. If we see 334, I'll just move my stop loss from break even to 290. I know I'm saying that I want to sell below 290, but I still have my stop loss placed at break even, just in case, whatever happens. Right? But more than likely, if we sell off, depending on the way the sell off looks, if it's like an impulsive sell off, I'll just get out at 290. But if you see 334, I do want to take profits here, but I might just move my stop loss into 290 and just hold all the way till 368. But yeah, ES, yeah, we're getting another S&P flip here, where ES is getting weaker when NQ is kind of holding up a little bit more here. We're breaking highs while ES is just sitting there. It makes sense though, you know what I mean? ES, I had it the other way around. ES took out the level that NQ hasn't, right? So look at this level right here on ES, right? We took it out while NQ hasn't taken out that level. So it makes sense as to why we're pumping up here. I'm pretty sure we created this level from the morning. Yeah, pretty much the same exact level, guys. So if you guys are wondering exactly why ES is getting a little bit weaker than NQ, well, they pretty much follow each other. It's mainly because we took out the 7 a.m. liquidity on ES, which makes sense as to why ES might not want to go any higher because it took out its objective. While at 7 in the morning, NQ created a high at 334, which we have yet to take out, right? So it makes sense as to why it's a little bit, there's a little bit of a difference there. But yeah. So if we hit the price target, it would be 85 points. Hopefully, price doesn't really pull back as we get so close to the price target. Regardless, maybe around this range, I might even want to just trail it already. I really want to do 290. I don't want to really be giving back too much profits. And we're getting a pretty impulsive pullback, which is the one thing I was kind of worried about. Or not worried about. Obviously, we're in the green, but the one thing I didn't want to see. So I'll probably just get out at 290. I gotta put this out and make sure that. Where my stop loss? 324. 327 hit. What do we have at 327? Oh yeah, I do see it. I mean, I guess you can consider there's some liquidity here as to why we're selling off, maybe. But this level is a little bit more stronger, hence why I have this one marked down instead of this one. But yeah, I know that we're getting a little bit of a pullback here, and I'm not really expecting the market to fall on reverse. But like I said, if volume does seem, like I said, a little bit unstable, a little bit aggressive, a little bit volatile. So if we do, like I said, if we break below 290, I'll just get out of the trade completely. But if we can flip this candle from red to green, what's stopping us from hitting 334? We're literally right around the corner. You know what I mean? We might as well hit it. Yeah, we're pumping up. We should be able to see 334 here. This should be the pump up into 334. I want to see why not. Although ES is showing a lot of weakness, keep in mind, ES took out the level that NQ hasn't yet. So if ES is getting weak around here, it's probably just waiting on NQ to take out the level to then reverse. You get what I'm saying? So if price does get a little bit slower on here, we know why. Once again, ES took out the 7 a.m. level, the 7 a.m. DOL, while NQ is still approaching it, right? So now that we're seeing that ES is getting a little bit weaker here, we can see that we have a lot of respected liquidity that we might want to reject off of, all right? So if that's going to be the case, where ES gets weak after it took out that level of liquidity, imagine how much more weaker it's going to get after NQ takes out that same exact liquidity. You get what I'm saying? So definitely, if you guys want, you could definitely start scaling out, scaling out some contracts if you haven't already, and obviously start moving your stop loss into 290. Because that's what I'm going to be doing, guys. I'm going to be placing my stop loss over at 290. I pretty much just trolled it up already. Right, but yeah, I'm pretty much expecting, as much as I want to see that Asia high, which we might see by the end of the day for sure, or maybe by the end of the morning, it could get a little bit weaker. We're getting all the indications as to why. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. Look at ES. You see what I mean? It's holding red. I know I keep repeating it. I just want to make sure that you guys are understanding as to why I'm saying this. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want, I pretty much already moved my stop loss. I'm considering this a price target just being hit already. See if we can push up. There we go. Oh, really nice push up there. Wow. Okay. Very, very nice. If anything, yeah. Wow. Really nice push up. That's pretty much more than. That's a 90-point trade right there. 9 points. I try my stop loss. There we go. Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting that push up there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but that works too. We're definitely no room to complain. Beautiful trade though. Beautiful trade. But let's see if we can shoot. I mean, we might as well just shoot up into 368. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? We should be up 100 points, right? Ah, we're right there. Then take off my hoodie, guys. It's very hot. Hold up. Let's see if we can shoot into. Now, I want to throw my stop. I don't want to have a stop loss at 290, especially with this push up. I just don't know where I would trade it up. Maybe on the 1 minute, it looks a little bit better in terms of a pullback. Yeah, maybe we could do like a stop loss at like 300. That's pretty much like a 40-point stop loss, I would say. Yeah, I'm gonna trade it from 290 over to 300. I know it's a 10-point difference, not much, but it's some extra profit. You know what I mean? Some extra lunch money that you can make throughout that payout if you get it. So yeah, let's see. We're getting one more pullback, which obviously is expected. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I know we got a push up there and it looked amazing and everything, but now is when price is starting to hold below the level of liquidity. Look at ES. Oh, actually, not yet, right? I mean, look at NQ. The same reaction that we were getting on ES. Now ES is trying to hold down, which makes sense as to why. And Q is obviously sweeping liquidity. We knew this was gonna happen. Why? Because once again, guys, ES took out the level of liquidity first. ES got very weak. It showed us that sellers are waiting for us at that level, right? And all we were missing was NQ to hit that 7 a.m. liquidity. Now that we took it out, look how we're instantly selling off. You get what I'm saying, guys? So it was pretty much expected. We knew that this was gonna happen. All right. So now it's like I said, guys, just throw your stop loss. I trailed it into 290. So my stop loss is I trailed my stop loss to this low right here. Right. This is gonna be my stop loss. All right. And the reason I'm putting this as my stop loss is just on the 1 minute time frame, just the nearest pullback that we had. You know what I mean? It was more than likely gonna get hit, and we're probably even gonna get an MSS model going forward, and we're probably gonna seek a little bit lower. But as long as we're able to make majority of the move or catch majority of the move, we're pretty much good. You know what I mean? So now it's kind of just wait till our stop loss gets hit, which is pretty much placed at 299, and that's pretty much it. I mean, but once again, hopefully you guys understood as to why we had these targets and as to why we expected a full-on reversal. All right, but there it is, pretty much one and done. All right, guys, I pretty much just got out of that trade. But yeah, other than that, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the trade. Hopefully you guys made some profits, and yeah. You think this can cause another trade, at least a commentary? I don't want to be on the charts for too long. You guys know I'm doing this whole thing where I'm trying to do a little bit of self-improvement. So literally, right now I'm gonna head up to the gym. So I'm not really gonna be on the charts for too long, and I don't want to be on the charts after. Obviously, I made a little bit in the markets. But you can definitely apply the model that I teach literally every day, and just get a trade going for yourself. Thank you. I got you guys. By the way, if you guys want, thank you, Patrick, bro. If you guys want to post your profits, if you guys made any profits, obviously make sure you guys do so in the profit channel, and just add me and all that stuff. David, how much do you bench, bro? On my prime, bro, I did with 145 body weight. I did 245 for one. But dude, I haven't gotten so long, so I can't even. I can barely even do a plate anymore, bro. But with muscle memory, I'll get it back in like a week, so I'm not really too worried. But yeah, guys. Other than that, if you guys are green and all that good stuff, you guys are free to get off and go enjoy the day. And obviously, if you guys are green, make sure you guys are posting your profits over in the profit channel. Yo, bless. I'm on a pretty new 50K PA. Right done. Should I sell with 5 contracts, take full profit at 30, 35 points for now? Yeah, yeah. Just so you can build up that cushion again. Thank you, Kratos. Yeah, bro, we'll be on it. We'll be on it. But I have a question. I need $700 to pass. Do I need to close the trade? No. You need to close the trade. At the end of the day is when your PA will get tracked or your EVA will get tracked. So as long as at the end of the day it's above 53,000, it passes. If you were at 53,000 and you close the trade at 52,999, it won't pass your account because it needs to close at $53,000 or above. All right, and guys, look at this. We're getting literally a full-on reversal, and we know why. Look at this. DOL sweep, DOL sweep. ES got weak around this area while NQ didn't take out the level. Now that NQ took out the level, the market, it's like sellers were waiting on NQ, right? Now that sellers got they waited and everything. Now we're selling off. So it makes sense. It makes sense as to why. All right, guys. But yeah, other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the trade and make some money. Thank you. I got you guys. But other than that, man, I don't want to be wasting any time. What the hell? That was weird. Whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna head off to the gym, guys. I'm gonna go enjoy the day, and I'm gonna get off the charge so I can mentally rest. Remember, guys, before you guys get off, tomorrow I won't be live. I don't know if I'm gonna trade tomorrow. No promises. Because remember, tomorrow Powell is speaking at 10 in the morning, and you know how that goes. It's not typically the best. All right, so I'm not even gonna bother getting on. I'm not even gonna bother stressing myself out trying to give you guys something that I know I don't like trading for myself. So don't expect anything from me tomorrow. If I see something, I'll post commentary. But if not, then let's see. Plus, I had the same 334 as you. Oh yeah, no, that level is super clean, super clear, super easy to read. I am expecting a little bit of a pullback, which obviously we're getting right now. I am expecting 368 by the end of the day. It's a pretty easy level to take out. If we don't take it out today, we can definitely trade into it tomorrow. Can you confirm my other levels? Yeah, of course. Send me your chart. Send me your chart. Whenever you want. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the server, ping me. Whatever. Real quick, if you didn't take this, would you take that IFEG down? This one right here, honestly, yeah. There's not much stopping us until pretty much down here. That's if we sell off. You know what I mean? We have we don't have the MSS forming just yet. We have it being signaled but not confirmed. We have the DOL sweep confirmed. We have the selling confirmed. And we have a fair value gap over here. So if you guys might want to take another trade, obviously I'm not going to be guiding you guys to this one because I'm not going to be taking it. But if you guys want to work with something here, you could definitely work with an inverse off this gap right here. It wouldn't be bad at all. I mean, there's not much stopping you. If you inverse this, there's literally nothing stopping you until 152. I'm saying, of course, make sure, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll be opening the chat for a little bit longer. So if you guys obviously have any questions or anything, just let me know. But yeah, other than that, guys, if you guys are done with your questions and you guys want to get off, go ahead. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to be heading out to the gym and I'll catch up with the chat right now, maybe a little bit later. All right, guys. Thoughts on how we get to 368? I'm not gonna lie, it will probably just be a grind up into 368. I don't really think we're gonna get any other model into it. We're just gonna slowly trade into that 368 level. What confirms an MSS? Remember, what an MSS is just the market structure shifting, right? So here, the market trend or the market structure is bullish, right? So we have the main low, higher highs, right? So the market here is obviously bullish. It looks like it's going up, but there's obviously a little bit more behind it. What's going on behind it is we have the main low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So these lows being higher every single time is confirming that the pattern in the market is bullish. We're slowly but surely going up, right? So once we take out an objective, we could sell off, But when the MSS will be confirmed is when we start forming lower highs and lower lows consistently, right? So it would look somewhat like this, right? Just because we sell off once does not mean that we have an MSS model. But as the market starts to create lower lows and lower highs as we go, that's going to be your MSS model. So with the structure shifts, right? Hence the MSS model, the market structure shift model, right? We're going from creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, into creating the main high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower low, right? And so on. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off from the stream. I don't want to burn myself out too much from being on. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'll be active in the chat later if you guys have questions. I'll be posting in the self-improvement channel a lot more today. I want you guys to be posting as well, of course, so we can all build the discipline and everything. But yeah, if you guys are done trading, I mean, now it's kind of just time to go to the gym and get the day started. All right, guys. So yeah, other than that, I'll be active in the chat later on. All right, guys. I got you, man. All right, guys. But yeah, God bless, bro. God bless. But yeah, I'll see you guys later on then. All right, guys. Peace out. Enjoy your days. All right, guys. Peace out. Peace out. And YouTube, guys, hopefully you guys were able to enjoy the stream. Hopefully you guys were able to make some money with us. Pretty nice trades today. Really nice reads that we got in the markets. But yeah, if you guys obviously want to get access to the live trading with no delay, I was thinking on raising the delay on the stream. But I don't know just yet. I feel like 2 minutes is way too little, but I'll think about it. But if you guys do want to join the premium with no delay, you guys can obviously always join the premium with the first link in the description. And obviously join the winning side to get access to zero delay live trading, real-time alerts, real-time education, access to classes, access to literally everything. And that's where I'm just most active. So if you want to learn from me, and my models and everything, you can always ask me all my questions there. I'm sure you guys know this, but I don't really read the YouTube chat just because I'm so focused on the trades and the Discord as well. So obviously, if you guys do want to join and get access to that, guys, click the first link in the description, and you guys can join there. And if anything, I'll go ahead and send it over right over here as well. There you go. All right. So yeah, once again, if you guys want to join, the link is in the chat. And other than that, guys, I'll see you guys Monday. If anything, I won't be live tomorrow. I'm not gonna be trading FOMC. Or Powell, my bad. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. All right, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace.